Hi everybody, Inspector Tom with Codes to Know, where we are saving the world one code at a time. Today we're going to be talking about brick veneer finishes. And brick veneer, fantastic exterior finish to a home, super durable, but no, the work is not being done by a licensed trade. Well, what does that mean? It means that you tend to get a wider variety of results, going from, oh my gosh, that's awesome, to, ugh, not so much so. So we're going to dig into what does the International Residential Code have to say about those standards so that you can take a look at your own job site. We're going to cover this many codes in that short a period of time. Let's roll.
So why are brick houses referred to as brick veneers? Well, the reality of it is that the bricks hold up more bricks. They're not a structural component of the house. So similar to dental veneers, brick veneers are there to make the house look good and to help protect it from the weather. One of the first codes communicated in the IRC is that gap between the brick veneers and the structural house has to be a minimum of 1 inch. The purpose of that gap is to allow any water that happens to pass through the mortar, the brick, and get in between the wall and the brick work itself. It allows it to drop down and drain out of the home. A smaller point to make is that if you're out in the job site and you're looking down at that air gap and you see a bunch of mortar down there, actually, that's okay. During the construction process, having some mortar behind in that airspace, that air gap, is totally acceptable. In that gap, you've got the structural side of it. Well, it has to have a water resistive barrier. And basically every single point along that wall, it's going to be impervious. It's going to drop down and stay away and not penetrate the building envelope. The importance of this particular function can't be overstated. I'll be addressing it in detail in a separate video. So the required wall gap allows water to drain down. Well, once it gets down to the bottom, where does the water go? It drains out weepholes. Couple of quick standards: shouldn't be greater than 33 inches apart, needs to be 3/16 of an inch in diameter as a minimum, and should be directly located above the flashing. So how are brick veneer walls built and how are they attached? Starting at the bottom, they sit on a brick ledge. Totally makes sense. Underneath that very first course of masonry, there has to be a form of flashing. Most commonly, it's a 6mm polyvinyl. What's important to note about the flashing is that it's also required in other areas. So if you've got structural floors, shelf angles, lintels, there should be flashing present in all of those locations as well. Just a quick side note, making sure that flashing is properly wrapped around the corners of the foundation will help prevent corner pops. Corner pops are cosmetic in nature, but they look horrible. The brick veneer wall is bricks holding up bricks. So how does it get attached to the wall? Most commonly, there are these 22 gauge corrugated ties. Brick ties need to extend into the veneer no less than 1.5 inches, and they need to leave about 5/8 of an inch to be covered up with mortar or grout. What's important to understand is when you've got these corrugated ties, how close should they be to each other? And the International Residential Code is very, very specific about it, that each tie should support not more than 2.67 square feet. That's about 19.5 inches by 19.5 inches, but very specifically that they should not be spaced more than 32 inches apart horizontally or 24 inches apart vertically. So not all codes are created equal, and some are just more important than other ones. This is one of the more important ones. So the standards, once again, 2.67 square feet per tie, 32 inches on center horizontally, and 24 inches on center vertically. Around openings like windows and doors, there needs to be additional ties, and they should be located within 12 inches of the opening and not greater than 3 feet away from each other. If you're walking your construction site and you're looking to see if these standards are in place, here's my tip: look up. The more work your contractors have to do to get those ties in the correct place, right? Whether that's going back out to the truck and grabbing the 24-foot ladder instead of the little A-frame ladder, those are the areas that tend to get missed when it comes to the proper installation of brick ties. So look up. That's where the mistakes are. When you're putting brick veneers over an opening like doors or windows, you've got to have a means to support them. Well, that's called a lintel, and it's a big, heavy-duty chunk of metal that has to extend over the brickwork and carry the load above it. In the IRC, there are pages and pages of engineering data. We're not going to go into that. Here are the basics you need to know. For every opening greater than 2 feet, you need a lintel. Lintels are only good up to 18 feet 3 inches. Wherever you've got a lintel, you've also got to have flashing, and you have to have weepholes. Lintels need to come from the manufacturer with a shop-coated rust-inhibitive paint, or be made from steel treated with coatings to prevent corrosion. Finally, and probably most importantly, lintels need to have a bearing or be resting on at least 4 inches on each side of that opening. I need your help. Please like and subscribe. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm will pick up this channel.